Hi friends, Jekka here. I am at the university's organic community garden today, and I was thinking about all the different types of plants that we grow. So we grow plants for food, we grow it for beauty. In the edible forest, we have some plants that are used for erosion control, and we use them to attract butterflies. So I was thinking about all the different varieties of plants and realized I have a lot of questions about plants in general, and I'm sure you guys do too. So I decided to contact my friend Rip, who is an expert in gardening. Let's go see what he has to say. Hi, friends. I am so excited to have our garden expert, Rip Weaver, with us. Hello, Rip.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm great. It's a beautiful day.
I agree. It's a nice day outside. So, our first question is, where do you work and what do you do there?
I work at Aldridge Gardens in Hoover, Alabama. I am the executive director here of our 30-acre garden, and it is a public garden, so you're more than welcome to come visit.
That's awesome. So, our first question, since you are a garden expert, is can plants talk to each other?
There is more and more evidence that plants do talk with one another, especially trees. At the root level, not through the air, but at the root level, where their roots touch one another, they can communicate back and forth. We're finding more and more evidence of that throughout the world, that trees do talk to one another. Now, there's not been so much study on shrubs and grasses and things, but if trees can talk to one another, why not shrubs and grasses?
That is so cool.
It
I
is.
wonder what they talk about.
Well, they talk about the latest research has said if one tree is under stress, another tree close by can actually send some food over. It can actually tell it where the water is. Some pretty fascinating stuff is being uncovered and discovered.
That is so cool.
It
Now,
is.
when I see a tree, I'm going to be like, what are you telling your friends?
Exactly.
Ooh, so this question comes from my friend, and she is 6 years old. She wants to know, why do roses have thorns?
Okay. Plants have thorns, not just roses, but there are a lot of plants that have thorns for protection. Okay. And as a plant evolves over evolution, thorns develop to prevent certain animals from damaging the plant and eating the plant and hurting the plant. So thorns develop on plants so that only certain animals who won't be hurt by those thorns or are too small for the thorns to hurt them can access the plant. And most of those animals that can get to a plant that has thorns are beneficial. They help the plant, help the fruit or pollinate or something like that. So it's all a protection measure, either from a big animal like a dog or a cat or something like that, or even a human, down to a squirrel. But all those plants that have thorns on them the thorns are developed for protection.
That's good to know. But I like that they only protect against certain things. They let other things like insects maybe get close.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Oh, this is a fun question. This is from my friend. He is 12 years old and he would like to know, is it true there are meat-eating plants?
Not so much meat eating. There are carnivorous plants that actually ingest bugs. Bugs get trapped in the plant, and then the plant's juices decompose the bugs, and they use the the chemicals that come out of the bug's body as fertilizer. But in terms of, you know, teeth and jaws and stuff like that, actually eating the bug, I mean, eating meat, no. And if you consider an insect meat, then yes, they are meat eaters, but they're carnivorous, and they actually dissolve. They don't chew it.
I don't have to worry about losing fingers in the swamp.
No, 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 no. You don't have to worry about that.
What is the role of leaves, and why don't plants just grow flowers instead?
Okay, that's a really, really good question. The leaf on a plant is like the nose on your face. Okay, that's how the plant breathes. It pulls in minerals and water and to some degree oxygen through the root system and breathes it out through the leaves. If you didn't have the leaves, the green part is actually the part that manufactures the fuel that the plant uses to live, chlorophyll. Each leaf is sort of like, let's just pretend it's a little engine, okay? And the engine has to have fuel, and the fuel is being made in that leaf to let the plant live. And so you have tiny little holes in the leaf that let the air come out. The water vapor that's pulled in through the roots come out, and expresses it to the air. So that's how a tree actually promotes, adds oxygen to the environment, because it brings it up through the roots. It brings the air through the roots, and that's hard to understand, that they're actually pulling in air underground, but that's what happens. It pulls in air through the roots, and then it uses that air to manufacture fuel to stay alive, and then it blows it out through the leaves in the form of oxygen.
That is so cool. I had no idea.
It's a very, very complicated process, but yes, the leaf. If we only had flowers, the flowers don't what's called respire. They don't breathe like the leaves do, so the tree wouldn't live, or the plant wouldn't live.
Oh, okay. That's so cool. Okay, so I'm excited for this question. What is the most interesting plant that you know of and why?
That's a very, very interesting question. Probably the most interesting plant that I know of is called the passion flower. It's called maypop, and it has an amazing flower. The flower looks like it came from another planet. It is very different from any kind of flower you've ever seen. It is a vine that grows alongside the roads here in Alabama. It's a native plant, and it has a fruit about the size of a lemon that stays green, and it's called a maypop. And when the fruit matures, used to be in late May, we used to, as kids, we'd throw them at each other, and they would pop. They're very, there's a lot of air in each one of those fruits, but they go away. But the reason why it's so interesting is because the flower itself attracts a lot of different kind of insects to it to pollinate, okay, and it has a lot of pollen on it. The leaves are used by a lot of different caterpillars to the baby stage of a butterfly and moth as nourishment. And then the maypop itself, when it lies on the ground and starts to decompose, a lot of bugs lay their eggs in it. So it's sort of like their home until they start to grow the next growing season. So it's a very interesting viney plant that has a beautiful flower on it. It has a very interesting fruit, and it is basically the life host for a lot of insects. It's a very, very complex plant, and it is a weed in a lot of situations.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on the lookout for it though. I'm excited. I've never seen, I don't think I've
Yeah,
ever seen maypop before.
it would not grow in the swamp, but it would grow alongside the roads leading to the swamp. It's one of those plants that you'll find growing along the edges of the roads, unless somebody's actually cultivated it and planted it for the butterflies and the caterpillars and stuff like that. But in its sort of, let's just say, native environment, it grows all on the edges of county roads and back roads and stuff like that.
Awesome. I can't wait to look it up and find some. Okay, so our final question is, are there any plants that are unique to or only found in Alabama?
Yes, there are a lot of plants that are unique to Alabama. In fact, one of the plants, the reason why Aldridge Gardens is here is the Aldridge family patented the snowflake hydrangea, which was found in Pinson, on Turkey Creek. and it is a mutation of the native oak leaf hydrangea, but it has only been found here in Alabama. There's a plant called Alabama croton that, as far as we know, the only time it has been found in the wild has been here in Alabama. There are other plants that are very unique to Alabama, such as the cahaba lily, that have scattered colonies in other states like South Carolina and North Carolina on the cahaba lily, but the majority of them are found here. Yeah, you wouldn't find them in North Alabama and on the coast and stuff like that. They would only be in a very, very tiny select area. For instance, the Alabama croton was found not far from Montevallo.
Oh, really?
And it's only been found in Alabama. Mm-hmm.
That is so neat.
It is. It's a very, very unusual thing. You know, when you find a plant like that that only occurs in one little small place in the entire world, it makes you wonder how it got there and how it survived and why it survived. And it's a very special thing.
I agree. The more I learn about the plants here in Alabama, the more I realize what a special place it is. Thank you so much, Rip, for sharing your knowledge with us today. When is a good time to visit Aldridge Gardens?
You know, when we think about going to a botanical garden, it's a whole lot like going to Ebenezer Swamp. You know, there's something all the time to look at. Even in the middle of the winter, there's something to look at. So right now, we don't have all the beautiful flowers blooming, but we have a lot of those flowers that are turning to fruit that are very, very interesting. And, you know, the bugs are maturing, so they're beginning to lay their eggs. And so you can see some of the things happening with that. And the leaves on the trees are very interesting. So there's always something to see in any garden, not just during the springtime, not just for flowers, but when you get attuned to plants, when plants become your friend, there's always something to see.
I can't wait to go out and visit you guys.
Well, please come. Look forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.
I'm really glad Rip was able to answer our questions, and I learned a lot of cool facts today about different plants. I hope you guys get the chance to visit Aldridge Gardens in Hoover, Alabama. It'll be a fun field trip, or you can come visit us here at the University Garden and check out all the different types of plants we have growing.